And the great goodbye doesn't seem so fun anymore.
Welcome to Pixie Hollow.
I'm Faith.
I'm Trust.
I'm Pixie Dust. And I'm Farah.
Today we will be reviewing 2012's Tinkerbell and the Secret of the Wings, directed by Peggy Holmes.
Overview.
I love the animation style that they decided to go with for these movies specifically. It's super cozy and comforting even to this day.
For such an underappreciated movie, these movies have really good animation.
It surprisingly held up very well, except for some of the side characters and animals, specifically the lynx.
His face is a little smushed.
Yeah, Sarah said that he looks like he could be in a PlayStation 2 game.
He looks like a character in an almost well-animated video game, while they look like characters in an animated movie.
Yeah, and Lord Mallory's face at times.
Super jank.
Yeah.
Super jank. He looks like Wish.com Liam Neeson, and sort of terrifying. Also, speaking of ugly characters,
Oh no.
the Autumn Minister, I think is his name. What is with his hat?
It's terrible.
He looks so ugly. Also his face, but his hat? Terrible choice from the animators.
Yes,
The costume department, you could have done so much better.
It looks like a mullet made of leaves.
It does.
It's awful.
And we hate mullets here.
It's terrible. It's not
We are
good.
hashtag anti-mullet on this channel.
Yeah.
Winter in the front, summer in the back.
Yeah, comment if you agree.
On the flip side of things, Sled, they did an amazing job animating him for no reason. He's also voiced by the same guy who voices Anakin in the Clone Wars series. But why is he such a hunk muffin? Not Anakin, Sled specifically.
Why is his
But also,
hair
why is
so
his name
tall, though?
Sled?
Yeah. It's giving.
This is his
Jonathan
forehead,
Morgan.
and this is.
Yeah, who's Jonathan?
I don't know.
He
Anyway.
only directs, edits, films, and does literally everything to make us look and sound amazing.
How is everyone's hair so tall, though?
Yeah.
So, like, Sled is here, and Perry was like here.
She's like a truffula tree. Or like a,
Can you
like a seed.
Imagine that universe, but add the Lorax.
I'll go right up your nose.
That would probably be
Incredible.
the most perfect universe to ever universe. We took the BuzzFeed quiz. Okay, what? Because we got a few different answers.
Yeah.
What fairy were you?
It was like Rosetta and Fawn, mostly.
Which, very fitting. I can't remember which one I got the most. Obviously, I wanted Silver Mist because
Of course.
everyone secretly wants to be her.
It's a good
I, not so secretly, because I'll tell you right now, and I got her on one of my quizzes, and so I am her, and that's the only answer I will accept. Who do you think you are?
Probably Fawn.
I could see that.
I like her. I like them all. There are aspects of each one of the fairies. Like, I like how Vidya, I like that she's got purple. And obviously, I like Iridessa.
I would have said, like, you remind me of her.
Yeah. I like her dress, obviously, because
Yellow. Yellow.
it's just fairies. I mean, you just want to be
Exactly.
one of them. So.
Yeah. Comment down below with what fairy you are after you take the BuzzFeed quiz. Linked in our bio.
Speaking
I'm
of
a
how
fake
much
fan.
we really love the main gals in Pixie Hollow, their dresses are so pretty.
Yes.
I love them. And just the specific details of each of their outfits and their hair. Job done. Great job. I love it. Whoever designed each one of these characters put a lot of love and care into it.
I love how they go along with what type of fairy they are, and the colors just match so perfectly, and their personalities along with the color, along with what fairy they are. It's just so perfect.
Wings. Not chicken wings.
I love chicken wings. Comment down below if you like
Welcome to
chicken wings.
Pixie Hollow.
Speaking of wings you can eat, the sparkly wings look like candy. Okay?
Oh, okay.
They're
I was like, where are
very-
you going with that?
I love how they
I'm
shimmer.
still not quite there.
When Tinkerbell crosses over into the winter woods and she gets close to Periwinkle, but she doesn't know it yet, and they sparkle, it looks amazing. I love it.
Absolutely love like the iridescent effect that they put on it. It's incredible.
It looks like ice in like when the sun is shining on it, or glass. Ooh, when crystals have sunlight shining through them, and like you get the rainbow effect. It's like that.
They kind of look like dragonfly wings to me.
Ooh.
That's so true.
That's such a good comparison.
Can we talk about the fact that when Tinkerbell goes to get her wings looked at the fairy hospital, what is it called?
I don't know.
Probably the fairy.
Fairy hospital, okay. And she's like, take 2 sunflower seeds a day when you leave. And they leave, and Iridessa is wearing one on her outfit, which implies like she just wears pills on her outfits for fun.
I did not.
Iridessa, do you need help? Blink twice if you do.
Think of that.
Note to self, if your wings freeze, eat sunflower seeds. As a fairy myself, this is really informational. My wings freeze too often, especially in the winter times. Do you think the Taco Supreme Taco Bell flavored sunflower seeds would do the same thing? POV, if you touch your wing to your sister, it heals you. Just like the sunflowers! I'm learning so many new things from my fairy wings today.
This was such a specific detail, but such a nice little touch. How the animals change color as they cross from the warm side to the winter side. It's just so aesthetically pleasing.
It's so cute to watch.
It is. It's so perfect.
I love it when the bunny sticks his ears in, and then his nose and his tail. It's great.
It's so
I love
cute.
it.
Yes, and I've never ever loved winter that much, and I never will.
I think that's kind of what I said while we were
Creating
watching
a false reality, but we love you for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I loved winter this much. Like I could go outside and be like, wow, I'm happy.
They make it seem so magical.
T-shirt.
Exactly.
It's
Maybe if we had frost powers, it would
Maybe
be better.
if we rode in little snow baskets with owls
Yeah.
and if
to
we
work
could
every
wear-
day.
If we could wear tank tops in
the
winter,
winter.
we would probably like it better.
How did Tinkerbell not freeze her tuchus off? She's literally over. Okay, for a while she has her little like coat with the hood, but she's still not even wearing stockings. And then she doesn't even have the coat on. It's like, girl.
And she's like, like, you're a liar. You're a liar.
Just because I'm with my sister, everything's okay. It's like, no, you would be freezing.
I know.
And we talked about the coat, how it literally like hugs skin tight to her skin.
Exactly.
And it's like, that would not keep you warm, sis.
It's also made of leaves.
Like, that's not, no. Just because you add little pom-poms that are even puffier than your regular puff-puffs doesn't mean that it will keep you warmer.
The puffier puff-puffs don't puff-puff like they should puff-puff.
Comment down below if your puff-puffs are puffy.
Do they puff-puff like they used to puff-puff back in the puff-puff days?
In winter, the library looks like Elsa's castle.
It really does.
This movie was probably made before Frozen.
I think it was, yeah.
So I guess in turn, Elsa's
a year
castle
before.
looks like the library in Secret of the Wings.
There's a conspiracy theory that Walt Disney's body was frozen so that they could bring him back when they had the cure for lung cancer.
Huh.
What?
Because so many people were researching the conspiracy theory of Disney's Frozen. Like when you looked it up, something different would come up instead. Because in the 60s when he passed away, they didn't have a concrete cure yet. So they said that his body was frozen anyway.
Huh. Interesting. That's
Very interesting.
Fun
Yeah.
facts with Mel.
In terms of voice acting, I love the Keeper, Dewey. His voice is iconic and hilarious.
I didn't know they were going to do the smoochy smoochity.
And we looked it up. The guy who does his voice is in a lot of the other Tinkerbell movies, so that's a cool fun fact.
He's also in Johnny Bravo, a classic of our time. Some of the Scooby-Doo movies, classics of our time. An extremely goofy movie, classic of our time.
agreed.
The Holy Trinity.
He's probably named Dewey after the Dewey Decimal System because books. The Nerd Fairy?
He's incredible.
Stereotyping.
Yeah. In the Warm Library. Warm Fairy Library.
The warm library. Okay, you're getting script. Books, oh my god.
He sounds like, so this is so niche. Like, these guys don't even know what I'm talking about niche. I watched a film as a little child called The Crippled Lamb. And in this film, there is a pig. I have no idea if they're similar or even the same voice actor, but the Nerd Fairy character sounds exactly like this pig that was in the Crippled Lamb animation.
Oh, no. The bookworm ate that page. Nothing exciting ever happens in this stable.
It's based off of a book that Max Lucado wrote. He is amazing in terms of Christian children books. Very niche reference, but there you go.
The ones that get it, you know? We don't get it. This doesn't really have anything to do with voice acting, but Clank and Bobble are iconic. And the people that did their voices, we love you. So, that's all.
Periwinkle and Tinkerbell, when they're like up in the library and they're floating on that snowflake.
Yes.
And they like look at each other and they're like, hello, hello. It gives Parent Trap vibes because they're like, ooh, you're my sister and from the same laugh. And yeah, it gives the cabin scene in Parent Trap.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Right down the middle.
The Lindsay Lohan version, not the old one with the short hair and weirdness. Lindsay Lohan is amazing and I love her.
Shameless plug for a person we did not make.
If I were to cast this movie, young Sabrina Carpenter would play Tinkerbell. Now she's kind of yossified. So, fairies have an innocent look. Fairies don't do makeup.
All fairies kind of have like the baby cheek look. I feel like we all have that look. Do we think that
we don't.
Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory knew they were sisters and they kept them apart anyway?
Oh, that could be.
This is all some sick games so they feel better about their twisted love.
Exactly.
I would cast, okay, I'm going back. I would cast
probably a good idea.
Queen Clarion, Julie Andrews.
Yes!
Amen.
I was thinking that as soup, like right before you said it, I was like, Julia.
No, you were not!
Yes, I was! I really was!
Okay, you were.
It's the hair.
Julie Andrews is queen.
The hair gives Mary Poppins.
Who plays her man, though?
Liam Neeson.
That chemistry also that would make her a cougar big time, which would be the funniest thing. Like, it didn't fall apart because they were separated by seasons. He was literally just too young for her. Ben Platt would have been Clank or Bobble, and it changes depending on the day. He's both of them. Anyways, like
Half and half.
yeah. I think Iridessa would be played by China Anne McClain, which fits well because she made a song for the movie, but it's still perfect casting.
Not to toot our
Can we
own
make this
horn.
happen?
Call us.
I will be
right now.
a leaf.
Fun fact, the music literally ate and left no crumbs. I personally love the main song from this movie, The Great Divide, the vocal slayed, period, the end.
What face in the world do things we never done before? And the great divide doesn't seem so fun anymore. We just doing what we do, girls.
Did Rosetta just take possession of your body?
I feel like the longer this channel is gonna go on, tip me over and pour me out.
I don't think this channel
Do it again!
go on anymore. The Winter and Warm World lore and just the lore of Pixie Hollow and Tinkerbell in general is honestly so deep for a children's movie, and I really appreciate that. Obviously, looking back, it's slightly more cringe than I remember, but as a child, I was like, wow, they're literally forbidden to see each other. This is so upsetting, you know? It was like, it hits. Like, as an adult watching it back, it's like you could literally just get over yourselves, cry a river,
La La Land.
cry a river, build a bridge, and get over it, and then change the rules and stop being dumb. You know?
It doesn't make sense how Winter is the only one separated from all the other seasons. There's 4 seasons, and it's just Winter that has to be separated.
Yeah.
We live in Pennsylvania, okay? The amount of snow and cold we get in both spring and fall, it's probably more than winter. So the fact that they only have winter segregated, like fall and spring are warm.
It's like, oh, we have the fall forest. It's like, shut up. You're literally, you should also be covered in frost. Like, what are you talking about?
It's so weird that it's like a specifically plotted universe.
Yeah. They don't even have plants in winter. Like, it's all covered by snow. So you only need frost when the snow has melted and it's getting cold outside and the plants are visible. So the frost fairies, which whom Periwinkle is, need to be in spring and fall.
It's true. She makes a good point.
Spring is not just all flowers and sunshine and rain and whatever. There is so much mud You cannot tell me that there are not mud fairies.
I would have been a mud fairy. Me and Shrek just, down in the swamp.
Shrek is obviously a fairy, so no comment on the rest of that.
Secret of the swamp. Tinkerbell and the Shrekker Beast. In the Never Shrek? Tinkerbell and the Lost Shrek. Tinker Shrek.
The bridge between the winter and the warm world, completely unguarded. No guards to be found anywhere. So they can just pass right through. They don't even have to be sneaky about it.
Okay, well the budget was limited for casting.
And it's such a strict rule. You are not allowed to see your sister. And they bring a whole ice machine that's 20 fairies wide.
Exactly.
And it's
You measured this?
loud. It's loud to boot. It's and they just cross. There's no one guarding it even after. They were all suspicious, don't cross. Mm-hmm. Don't cross after her wings almost got frozen off.
Yeah.
Well, they gave her sunflower seeds, so she was drugged up, and they thought that she wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then people started wearing them as the fashion, and
I understand that the plot probably would have been a lot more difficult, but they could have just, snuck past the guard. It would have added a little bit more of an obstacle.
Yeah.
Instead, they're just just gonna walk right over. It's the warm fairies aren't allowed over there, but we can cross.
Whenever
Nobody's gonna
you
stop you. Make it make sense, Peggy. Just kidding, Peggy. I love you and your work. Incredible. Rewatching this movie made me realize that it was way too short. As a child, I thought it was much longer. It felt much longer. When we were watching it, I was like, the climax is already happening. It's been 5 minutes. What is going on?
Our allotted time to watch the TV as children was a lot shorter because your parents were like,
You have to go outside and play and to develop your brain.
yeah.
I didn't do that.
When the frost fairies come to frost the pixie dust tree, they keep stopping. And they're like, oh my gosh, we're not going to do it in time. And they just keep talking.
The tree's too big.
And they keep hugging and friendship is magic and whatever. And it's just keep frosting the tree.
Exactly.
Just, you'll do it.
If you stop, then it's obviously not gonna get done. Duh.
just keep going.
It's too late. Shut up.
If you were a fairy, though, what would you live in?
Acorn.
Acorn.
I can jump an acorn out of my belly button.
That's an abnormally big acorn that you're living in.
Technically, it would be small.
Terrence puts an acorn on his head, so they must have
that's a good point.
tiny acorns and really big acorns, but that are regular size.
Oh, Terrence did not get enough screen time in this movie.
Because he didn't get any.
He was in the first 5 seconds. Tinkerbell's like, oh, hi.
Oh.
And then he didn't show up again.
Oh, look, it's my boyfriend. Bye for the entire movie.
He could have been in it longer than 5 seconds.
He's probably at the end somewhere. They're snuggling in the tree.
We are Terrence Stans on this channel here.
They kind of look like cousins, though.
That's a good point. We're gonna ignore that for now.
Isn't he like a fairy dust fairy?
He's a fairy dust cousin. Ernie, what would you live in?
Something story. I don't know.
Ask me if I'm a tree.
Yeah, probably a tree then. Ask me if I'm a tree. No.
I would probably either live in a mushroom or an upside down flower thingy.
That's what that was my first thought, and then she said tree.
I have to say really quickly that we didn't even take time to talk about all the stunts that they did in this movie.
For real.
First of all, with wild animals, and then with fairies, and they're all pretty talented.
There's a lot of falling.
Yeah.
In this movie.
And in fairy casting, that's really hard to do because, your natural instinct, this is just not.
Yeah.
So, shout out to you guys.
She falls with her coat on when she originally starts her journey because she jumps and belly flops onto the ground, and then she also falls again because she can't use her wings when the ice cracks out from under them. So you'd think that she would remember by now that she can't use her wings when she's wearing a coat.
Favorite scenes?
Mine was when they first discovered the mud fairies, and then they all joined in the swamp hut for some mac and cheese.
I love Tinkerbell's clothes making montage when she's getting ready to go over to the winter woods illegally. It's so cozy and cute, and the little pom-poms because she's extra. I just love montages, period, but the specific montage spoke to me. As a fairy myself.
Well, yeah, because like you see the 2000s fashion montages in movies, and don't get me wrong, they were cool, but I would have much rather been wearing a leaf.
Said Adam and Eve.
I was literally gonna say, like, it's giving beginning of the Bible.
I also love the scene where Tink and Periwinkle meet and figure out their sisters because it's very aesthetically pleasing. Going through the little shadowy things with the dandelion puff and the baby's laugh, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. And their wings are very pretty. And I love the scene where Tink and her friends show Periwinkle the warm side. It's so adorable, and the music in the background is perfect. Rainbows and the water, and she's being cheese grated with snow. She's not being cheese grated. There's snow is being cheese grated.
You're not supposed to be here.
Sarah Begg favorite scene when the two fairy wings go.
The receptionist fairy at the hospital it's like a bell thing, but it's a bug, and when you touch him, he vibrates, and it's like, and I love it.
It's perfect.
That buzzer beetle is the best character in the whole movie.
Because I'm a nerd myself. I really like the library scene, and all of the book puns, and how there's bookworms, but they're actually worms, only they look like caterpillars, but it's fine. And they eat the books, and of course he eats the part of the book that's most vital to the plot.
Of course.
It's almost like they planned this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there has to be another book that says something in it. Like, that can't be the only book.
In the entire library, in the entirety of Pixie Hollow, how? Like this tiny little butterfly book is the only thing that talks about wings sparkling.
And it flies on its own, which is like
Harry Potter who?
book flaw, big time. It's a red flag.
And then lastly, one of my favorite scenes is when the Tinkers are done making the baskets and the Harry Potter snowy owls come and they pick up the baskets. It's whimsical. I love the music in that part too. Love it. Great. Good. Sparkling. Magical. Shiny. Woo! Adjectives.
Amen. Since Sarah's not here, snowy owls, Harry Potter, Tinkerbell, Potter ducks.
Harry Potter Secret of the Wings.
Favorite quotes.
Winter has a lord?
Besides, I'm afraid of glaciers.
I've never seen the sparkling with my own peepers.
Get the doctor.
How they do?
We're just sad to see it go. Pretty basket.
Wow, I didn't know they were going to do the smoochy smoochid.
I told you a rainbow collision is not an emergency.
But the purple's starting to itch.
Hello, I am Rosetta. This is...
Rosetta, she's a winter fairy. She's not from the moon.
Snow!
Final thoughts. The Tinkerbell movies are all magical, and Secret of the Wings has a special place in my heart, especially when thinking about watching it with my sisters and how it just made our childhood a little more sparkly. I give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Sarah Begg's final rating of this film is a solid 5.5 out of 7 periwinkle flowers. It was very good. I liked it a lot. For my first time ever watching a Tinkerbell movie, I really enjoyed it. Very good film. Would recommend for children of all ages.
The Tinkerbell movies as a whole are just kind of iconic. If you're not watching them, you're a loser and I hate you. I give this a 5 out of 5.
It's fair. This may just be nostalgia talking, but I absolutely love this movie. It's my favorite out of all of the Tinkerbell movies, period. This movie helped shape me into the person I am today. The fantasy and cozy aesthetic elements are absolutely unmatched. The plot and the lore is amazing, and the animation held up surprisingly well. I give this movie 5 out of 5 stars.
Thank you for watching. I'm Sarah.
Gazoontite.
And God bless.
Roll credits.